So being from the place of City of Champions, East St. Louis, sports is huge, right? I fell in love with track and field at the age of 12, but I was very blessed to have parents that said, if you do not get your grades, sports does not matter. But I had a very strong support system that was telling me, you can do whatever you put your mind to. Someone like Nino Fenoy, that's also Coach Jackie Joyner-Kersee, he said the sky is not even the limit for you. And I always say that he would tell us, you're a state champion, you're a champion every single day. And when he said that, I felt like he was pouring into us as if he knew one day it would be the air we would need to breathe. He knew the world may tell you something totally different, but from your foundation and your core, you need to understand that you are the greatest thing from East St. Louis. Going off to college, UCLA, fight, fight, fight. It was awesome. That was a dream school for me, the only place I ever wanted to go. I could not believe they were offering me a scholarship. It was everything. Jackie Joyner-Kersee, Gail Devers, and Bobby Kersee is there? What are you talking about? It's the only place a hurdler like myself wanted to go. And then they offered me a full ride. So I go off to UCLA and being dropped off, basically, in Beverly Hills was insane. Coming from East St. Louis, being in Beverly Hills, it was a culture shock, but I think that I had been equipped with a really good foundation of understanding you're worthy no matter where you go. And I knew that I was talented because the coaches said, if you're here, we believe that you can carry on this legacy at UCLA. You are capable. My freshman and sophomore year, it was really learning. You had to learn because when you step on that track at UCLA, everyone beside you is a state champion, is a state record holder. So that, yes, it means something, but that means you're amongst your own kind. You're not special in the sense of no one's ever done this. And so really kind of grasping that to say, well, what am I going to do to be different? What am I going to do to make my dream of one day going to the Olympics live and survive? The year of the Olympics, training for Beijing was everything. It was amazing, but it was hard. It was very hard. It was hard because of the challenges, if I'm just honest. You know, so many times you see the person on the podium, but there's so much behind it. There's so many, unfortunately in my situation, there were so many tears, right? There were so many days and nights of believing, but it was believing through tears. And the training was going well. I mean, I could not have dreamed of a greater training sessions that I was having, right? I had the defending Olympic champion, two-time world champion, and collegiate record holder that was whooping on me all through college in my training group. So that's 4 of us. They only take 3 to the Olympics. And I remember telling myself, you're going to have to be insane to continue to believe, because at practice, you're not winning. At practice, you're not getting second. At practice, you're not getting third right now, you're getting 4th. But you're gonna have to chip away little by little. And then I ended up hurting myself. In February, I felt something weird in my knee, and I just knew I had to fly back home to Dr. Liebman to see if I would need knee surgery. And unfortunately, I go into his office, and he kind of checks me out, and he's like, sweetie, you're going to have knee surgery. I remember giving myself 60 seconds to absolutely lose my mind. He came back in, and I said, all right, what do we need to do? And he told me the game plan, and I was willing to work that game plan, and I did. I would do things like sneak onto UCLA's track at nighttime, getting my workouts in. I couldn't even walk all the way, but I said, look, I have to be ready when that gun goes off. .007 is what I made the team by, 007, woo-hoo. But I remember seeing my name pop up on the board, and I always say it's the most beautiful but ugliest pictures you will ever see of me, because it encompasses like a life's work, a body of work. It wasn't just those 12 seconds that I had just run. It was the body of work that went into that moment that was absolutely everything for me. And to get one of those sticks that had the American flag on it, only 3 people get that, only 3 in the US, and I was one of those. And I knew that I would be representing my country, this little girl that was working 3 jobs, no money, but continued to believe and believe. And to go off to Beijing was absolutely a dream come true. And I always say my first Olympics, I felt like a little girl. I felt like, how do you walk? How do you hurt left foot, right? I just felt like it was such a different world. Although I had been running since I was 12, the track felt so foreign because all my dreams were here everything was in this moment. And I remember my coach was telling me, run with the blinders on, baby girl, and go for it. Do not let up until after the finish line. And I remember being in the blocks, the gun goes off, and I remember seeing Delorine London's foot from Jamaica, and I said, well, you're not winning. And so I'm like, go to work. So I tell myself in the race, go to work, go to work, go to work. I go to work, and I could lean across the finish line. I don't know what place I have. I just know that I'm on the podium. And then Sally from Australia starts screaming. I'm like, I got second, baby, woo! And then Priscilla from Canada starts screaming. I'm like, I got third. And one of my training partners comes over, and she says, no, Dawn, you won. And I look at the board, and I just lost it. But what it said was, this little girl from East St. Louis who had all these hopes and dreams. How many people in this world, no matter what the dream is, a doctor, lawyer, anything, and it doesn't come true for some reason. This little girl from East St. Louis, all of your sacrifices were worth it. You are worth it. You represented your city of East St. Louis, and you represented your country well. That moment was everything.
Just like in 2004, Tom, on UCLA Brewing, Dawn Harper out of nowhere. At Dawn Harper, she's the fourth best in her camp, and now she is the Olympic champion.
And for me, when I come back home, like I said, it's just filled with good people. And the fact that I've traveled the world and seen all these things and learned so much, it is an honor to come back to pour into the younger kids, the youth of this area. Me and my husband, he's a head track coach. I come and volunteer. We love to see them mature and grow from 9th to 12th. And then we tell them, we're family now until the end of time. Can you call on us? We're here from you. But that's what it's about. That's what this area is about. I've always felt this from a young kid, the support. And the fact that I'm able to be that for this youth now, for youth, that's what it's about. Being at home, some of my favorite places is DP Indoor Golf. I mean, hello people, right? What it is here is, first of all, it's Dan, the owner. He is awesome. He's someone that knows how to help you calm down, Dawn. You're not a golfer like that. Calm down. You're putting the Olympic pressure on yourself. It is not necessary. He's awesome, but then to really be able to golf indoors any time of year, I love that. Me and my husband, if he could live here, he probably would. And then you go somewhere like Shooters, the ribs. Like my family, yes, people cook ribs, and we're like, that's great. Like Mr. Stan, my stepdad, cook them and bring them. But when we have to cook, we're getting Shooters because nothing is going to top Shooters. For more of my story, read the Spring Summer Tourism Times.